Okay, so these things are fun. Everyone seems to be super excited about them. They are neat. And so I will kind of cover them here. So they come in a couple of pieces. They got this handle part, and then the gun stock, and then the kind of trigger mechanism there. And then all you do is you take your Quest controller, you slide it in there, and you lock it like that. And then you've got a gun stock for your Quest 2. It's neat. I can say I like it. It's, you know, fun, entertaining. Does it add anything to it? It does give a little bit more weight. So, if you are playing these games and you're feeling like, yeah, you want to have a little bit more heft in your hand. It's not heavy by any means. It's basically hollow plastic, but it gives a little bit more weight. I would say it's for me. I would prefer to have an actual grip controller. Something because this is like a smooth plastic, so it just makes it feel a little bit more slick. And I'm used to having a silicone grip on there. So I would say for me, I personally prefer having a grip instead, but it is pretty cool looking. And you do get a little bit more of that front heavy heft when you're playing a game. It I don't really notice it making me more tired or anything like that. I definitely wouldn't be using it for Beat Saber or anything like that. But if you have a gun game, I'd say one minor quibble that I have is it's got this piece right over here in front of the trigger, and it kind of makes my finger rest out a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that there, but it like doesn't sit as cleanly against the side. I mean, I can still get the trigger just fine. There's no real change in how it functions. I just feel like it's not quite as comfortable. I have these. Pull them over here. I've got the Kiwi grips, and the Kiwi grips are a nice extended silicone grip. They have the advantage of having hand grip, so I can just kind of like let my hand go, relax a little bit. You don't really get that with these. I mean, you could have your little safety straps on, which I don't have because I usually use the Kiwi grips. So for me, is this a buy? I think if you are someone that really wants to have the guns and you like the gun games and you want this, it's not going to give you any force feedback. It's not going to be anything, but it looks cool. And let's say you were inviting some people over, you had these. They're not very expensive, so it looks cool. You have people over, you have a good time. Would you like it? Probably. Would I take it over a plain Quest 2 controller? That's hit or miss. I personally, I prefer like just a regular silicone grip. I prefer the texture. Like the texture on these are just fantastic. I'm not big on having the hard plastic, making the controller a little bit larger. But if you have a big hand, and let's say that the regular Quest 2 controller is a little bit small for you, then by all means, that this might be a good option. For me, I don't know. I feel like it's just not as comfortable as what I'm used to. So it would be a pass for me, but for what it is, I mean, it's essentially a piece of plastic that goes on it, makes your controller looks like a gun. It works perfectly. I mean, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So I would say, for what it is, it's a pretty good value. But as far as my personal opinion, I can't give it 5 stars. It doesn't have the grip I would want, and um, it doesn't have the texture that I would want. But other than that, I mean, it does look cool. Like everyone that sees them are like, "Oh wow, that's really neat." So, I I would say, you know, if you just want to kind of show off, it definitely works. So there you go. That's kind of my quick review of these gun controllers.